Oh, and my favorite Kirsty is with us. How are you from your lifestyle location, my darling?
I'm very well. How are you?
Oh, fantastic, sweetness. We're so thrilled to see you. Beautiful Maeve is back with us. The sporty spice herself, Lorraine, has joined us. Come on, girlfriend. Dougster, again, beautifully shaved, immaculate, is with us once more. Damien, the star himself. Hello, Damien. How famous are you, Damien?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh, about that. Um, how many articles do you think you're going to get out this year, Damien? My goodness me.
There's the one that's just gone. There's definitely another one. There's hopefully a third.
That is great, brother. That is absolutely tremendous. Well done, you. Jules is back. The beautiful Nor, the successful, fabulous, amazing Nor is back. Darling one, I hope you're traveling well. And can I just sort of say a big thank you? We got some lovely comments last week after me acknowledging Ramadan. We just need to make sure that we care for our colleagues. Obviously, going
Thank you so much.
an incredible journey of reflection and cleansing and hope, but just be very aware to work with our colleagues earlier in the morning if we can. Expecting a wonderful colleague in Ramadan to be fully everything firing at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon is probably not a good thing. So we're with Nor for the morning and we're thrilled with that. So colleagues, welcome to Right Club. This, yes, come on. So Nor is ready to go because we are writing her thesis. So colleagues, let's go for it. 29 minutes of power. Let's change the world with Damien. Let's try and play catch up with Damien. We all want to be Damien for the next 29 minutes. Let's be Damien. See you on the other side. last minute colleagues. And colleagues, we are finished. Ooh. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And I'll go straight to the lifestyle location, which we all find so cleansing. Kirsty is like a sorbet in our lives. So, Kirsty, what were you writing on, Queen of the Universe?
I actually wasn't writing today. My plan was to work on my chapter 6. However, I looked at my weekly Scopus email that came through with the latest journal articles, and there was actually 4 in there were particularly relevant to what I'm writing in chapter 6 anyway. So I actually took the time to go through the abstracts of those and download the ones I needed to. And yeah, and that was actually really good for me because I've had a really troublesome week in many ways, including my EndNote dropped out. So that's never a good thing. It's all working now though.
Oh, no. Did you see everybody's face there? Kylie, her small intestine appeared to come through her nostril at that point. Kirsty, so you decided that you're upright, and Lorraine straight in there. Lorraine, where did your small intestines go during that conversation?
I was just going to ask, have you got Clarivate?
Yeah,
You've got, okay, no worries. So that safeguards you if that happens.
Yeah, and it was all I it was easy. I just uninstalled then reinstalled. That didn't work, and all different sorts of things. But my IT couldn't help me, my library couldn't help me. But when I did the message thing on Clarivate website, it was solved within 10 minutes, and that's after probably about 2 days me trying to work it out with everybody else's help. It was horrific.
Yes,
But that's okay. That's okay.
you're a very courageous woman. That was brilliantly done, and well done on you for the Scopus. I mean, obviously for me, they are a force of darkness. Satan, Satan, Satan. But I understand people have respect for Scopus, and good on you for getting that regular information from them.
Yeah. Especially at this point, because I think basically it's my last few months of getting my thesis submitted. So I to get those, just to see what's happening now, to see if I need to update anything and put it in. It's really beneficial for me to keep an eye on it.
No, you're a genius. I tend to do Google Scholar alerts, but I understand Scopus. I understand. I respect you. I respect you, Kirsty. I respect you. But can I say Google Scholar alerts, particularly if you've got a key scholar. So Noor, darling one, if you've got a scholar that you're watching that is really an emerging scholar, doing a Google Scholar alert on them every time they publish, because you may find it, but you may miss it. So there's something great about that too. So good on you, Kirsty, legend that you are. And can I say, that's why I don't use EndNote. I do manual reference lists. I'm that old, but I don't lose anything. Lorraine, what were you writing on?
Sorry, I was just replying to Julie. So it's what it does, that Clarivate, you can link your EndNote. So if anything goes drastically wrong with your EndNote, then it's in the cloud in Clarivate. So all your references are there, so you can retrieve them, get them back. It's just a good backup guide.
Yes, you're the best. I mean, you've changed our lives here. But so, Lorraine, what were you writing on? Because
what was I doing? So
we haven't had a proper chat with you in a couple of weeks. So where are we with your writing, mate?
Very, very interesting, actually. What I was doing there was applying to ALPRA. So I was looking at going down to become a provisional psychologist, registered psychologist. Anyway, so it's always been a real bugbear of mine for many, 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 many years. I didn't want to go down the psychology route because I have such a passion for counsellors, as you probably do know most of you, I'm a counsellor. And there's, you know, that little bit of snobbery in the industry of certain things where people really don't understand. And so I've always been like, I'm not being a psychologist, I'm an advocate for counsellors because we actually do the counselling. However, in one of my other roles, in a voluntary role, being a psychologist will be really helpful. So it's just about approving applications and doing psych profiles. So now I'm thinking, okay, even though my stubbornness is going, you know, it's I was filling in an application form. I confess I'm maybe going to the dark side. Sorry if anybody else is a psychologist, but it's just a personal thing to do with that background of education, fear, you know, bad history, leaving school at 15, no qualifications, you know, blah, 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 the whole story. I'm like, I don't need to be a psychologist to prove my worth. And then I'm going, well, actually, I probably do.
Well, Lorraine, you are such a helpful presence in the universe. There are certain humans that one meets in one's life who actually are this positive, caring, compassionate, enabling force in the culture. And you are certainly that human, Lorraine. So whatever title, I love you like life itself. Whatever, don't get upset because I'll get upset. Whatever title we put on you, it doesn't matter because your force in the culture is this positive one moving forward. So if a different title and an application allows you to do more in a different way, you know, I'll call you Elvis. I'm not too bothered.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's what I was doing with some hesitation.
Doing an application, oh, what a nightmare. Unbelievable. Good on you, mate, though. We're so proud of you. You're a bloody superstar. Should we go to the Kyles on her last DMOB happy day, shall we say? So,
before I go into what I was doing, I just want to say, Lorraine, yes, sometimes, yeah, you just got to suck it up and do the thing you didn't want to do. I know myself, didn't want to become an engineer. I like my personality, didn't want to lose it, but had to go back and do it, and it was the best thing I did. It didn't change me. I'm still the same person, and here I am training new engineers of the future. Yeah, basically nothing exciting, going through position descriptions, content analysis again, still just more data, chuggy, chug, chug.
Chuggy, chug. No.
Oh, and I also printed out my dog's breakfast from the discussion earlier on because I thought I'll take Josh's words and start scribbling on it. I haven't wanted to get to that phase until I dumped everything, but I thought, no, I need to do it just to make myself feel a bit more comfortable with the dog's breakfast that it is.
I'm really I'm going to grab something and show my dog's breakfast where I covered it. So it's such a great strategy, Kyles. But yeah, good on you.
And it's hard because I'm the sort of person, again, I try not to be that perfectionist, but I'm just uncomfortable with the everywhereness. How did you put it, Doug? I can't remember just the flippity floppity shit everywhere.
Higgledy piggledy.
Higgledy, that's what it was.
I'm going to find out the etymology of that phrase, and let's hope it's reasonably benevolent. I'm a little bit frightened where that phrase has come from. And look, Josh and I will discuss this. I'm a bit frightened, so we'll go further with Josh. But thank you, Carl. But Josh, it does frighten me. Every now and again, I just get a little bit concerned. Anything involving hig and pig, and you're thinking that's not going to end well, is it? So, Josh, what life-changing research were you doing at this point, you bloody superstar?
Oh, nothing life-changing at all. I usually save my job application stuff for the weekends, but I found one earlier this week on a bit more short notice. So, spent a bit of time writing up. Over here, you have to submit like curriculum plans and lesson plans and all this. So you kind of have to look at the university website, stalk everything, find what courses are taught in that particular school, and then write a big thing about how your skills align with that, how you're able to teach that, write a rough weekly outline of things. So basically do your job when you're not paid for it. I can't stand them, but yeah, got to do it. So spend half an hour.
Josh, good on you. And I think you're helping our early career researchers enormously in everything you say and do, because this is what job applications look like. We go on and on and on about research, but teaching pays the bills of the university, and they need to see that you can teach, and any proxies you can configure, and one includes you know, curricular design, doing an actual plan, all of that matters because they just need to know you can front and do it, right? Because it's so important. So Josh, good on you, mate.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know it's nightmare work, but dead crucial. Let's go to the queen of our lives, Queen Sophia. Now, Sophia, where are we, beautiful? Come on.
Oh, look, the bane of my life is conclusions. I just can't write them. And I have an article that it's basically ready to go. I just need to fiddle with the conclusion a little bit about the impact of different body types in superhero media on young boys' body image. So I think it's I'm really happy with the article, but I have the problem where I just feel like I've said everything in the article and then it gets to the conclusion and I don't want to say it again.
No.
And I'm not sure how to, yeah.
Sophia, just one little sidebar for you might help. In my conclusions, to get me sort of up for it and to write the big screamer rather than sort of wet squib of a conclusion, I sort of almost directly imagine my reader and ask, and I want to answer their question, why should I care about this? So you've done this great analysis, everything's there. Okay, why should your reader, that's your imagined person, why should they care about what you've shared with them? And the caring about the research is the best conclusion of all.
So going back to the significance.
Yeah, but also it's even a bit more emotional than that, Sophia, if it helps. So significance and knowledge and yes. But actually, you know, why? Why has this human just shared 2 hours of their life with you when they could have been having a cup of coffee, they could have been having a gin and tonic, they could have been doing all sorts of things, but they've given you 2 hours of their life. So explain to them, Sophia, why it was a significant 2 hours, why it matters. That, you know, I'm a bit obsessed at the moment. This is my year of mattering maps. So what's the mattering map of the knowledge that you've constructed there? Does that give you the push for a conclusion? Is that something?
There's something, the universe is aligning there with something, Tara, because it's actually, the article is called Superhero Bodies That Matter. And I'm riffing off that term of mattering. So yeah, thank you so much. That's really helpful.
You are legendary. Oh, I'm excited by that. And look, I'll go straight after Sophia to Damien. And Damien was about as interested in that topic as I was. So Damien, hello.
Very much in my realm of things I'm very interested in, particularly representation and how it has an impact on our lives. I'm a manual referencer as well. Just, I think if you're in television studies, like it's too hard to like make EndNote work for you. It just doesn't want to play. I am trying and somewhat failing to have more of a dialogue with the scholarship in the chapter I'm working on at the moment, because I've done a lot of like, this is what everyone says, but I'm not talking about why that matters. So I've spent this period sort of working through my discussions of craft and creativity in writers' rooms, and rather than just what they're saying, I'm focusing in a bit more on there is a sort of preoccupation with creativity, and they often don't name craft. They talk about the processes of writers' rooms and the structures, but there's very little, there's, you know, references to craft, but not as often. They're so focused on creativity, and I want to emphasize craft is really important because that's what my interviewees did.
Look, I think that's, and look, there's something interesting. Oh, I'm fascinated, Damien. I mean, I talk about the craft of writing all the time. It's not an art, it's a craft. But there's something powerful about them focusing on the how and not the why.
Yeah. Well, and it's sort of the key argument of this chapter is that there was this huge focus on the positionality of who was going into the room and did they have the lived experience of the stories they were telling. But for the period I look at, there was a sense that craft was overlooked. So these people were getting thrown in the deep end. Someone described it as their experience being strip-mined for their experience, but these are people who wanted to be writers and not having the development of their writing craft being a result or a benefit of their experience being strip-mined. And then also that research is part of craft, and research often gets overlooked for singular perspective.
Did anybody feel that quite viscerally? what Damien just said. I know Sophia and I did because we showed it on our face. But Damien, I have an argument. Obviously, Dr. Leanne McRae and I can, riff on this for several weeks at a time. But that's one, and there are a few challenges with identity politics, because a human being is reified to a particular disempowered variable, and their data point of one serves to also reify the diverse skill sets that they hold. So, we understand why identity politics exists, progressivist political movements, but there are some negatives there as well. And you've just captured that through the sort of strip mining of someone's identity. I am changed, I think, through that.
It's what I'd love this chapter to critique. I'm not sure if it's quite there yet, but it's where I'm trying to get.
And Damien, again, don't know if it's used to at all, but a wonderful guy called Eric Hobsbawm was an old English historian, dead now, I believe. I think you've heard of him. He about, 1996, 1998, I think in the New Left Review, did a pretty powerful critique of identity politics and the costs of that for the disempowered communities themselves, starting obviously with the working class in particular. Don't know if it's useful. I'll try and find the
I will revisit. I vaguely remember, but I haven't read since probably my undergrad.
Oh, mate, absolutely. And I used to teach it. So I used to use it as the final article in an identity politics course, where I would teach identity politics, and then halfway through it would turn back on itself and critique identity politics. So I took them on a journey and then took them back, and it finished with Hobsbawm. But mate, you've changed our lives this morning. That's unbelievable. When you saw Julie's face, I'll go straight to Julie. Julie, that's more relevant than we can humanly imagine for your thesis.
I just made a note to say Hopswood.
Oh, Hobsbawm, Eric Hobsbawm. Jules, I'll send you some stuff. I'll send you stuff. Send you stuff.
Now, I was free writing for a change, on merit as an abstract concept, which is what gets us into such problems, in my opinion.
Yeah. And so where have you ended up with? So you were doing a freewheeling Bob Dylan. You were stretching out. So are you starting to, is it shaping, or is it congealing? I'll use a really grotesque verb.
No, it is shaping. I've got 22 pages of higgledy-piggledy, as Doug was saying. But in putting that all down, it is shaping up. I've just got to sit and think hard and pull it together, and hopefully send you something tonight.
Oh, that's fantastic. It's going to be a big weekend, Jules. Big weekend. No, that's fantastic. No, do that, because I'm so interested in that. And also, as we've talked about, this is my obsession, coming off Damien's great point, that the assumption that a woman, the assumption that a vagina creates a more benevolent leadership modelling is concerning. It doesn't mean that it may be right or it may be wrong, but just ponder that. The assumption that the feminine is by its nature sort of vegan and caring and compassionate and let's give everybody a hug. And if we just have more women, then and on the identity politics arc, I think that leads us astray. But that's just me. That's just me.
But how does identity politics and standpoint theory, can you say they're very different? Because it's a point of view as opposed to an identity.
Yeah, standpoint theory is interesting because of what it does do is at least it is honest with the lens. So standpoint theory describes the human writing the work and then describes their view from that standpoint. But also, and they are linked, Jules, because there's the assumption that my particular standpoint has value because of who I am as a person. My multiple socializations and identities render me special and important. And my particular view has, value. And, it may be the case, I'm too old and haggard, Jules, to be working through this at this point. But, every human being has value. But I think the challenge with identity politics is it hierarchizes identity. And the hierarchy is the challenge, because then you end up with a hierarchy, then you've got binary oppositions, then one binary seems to be better than the other, and then it's on for young and old. You're the best. Should we go to our legendary Bree, the light of our lives? Now, Bree, you always excite us. Look at Kylie. What did Bree do? What did Bree do? What did you write for that half an hour, Queen Bree?
Tara.
Bree.
You sent an email this morning with a list. It was a big list.
I'm straight at you, girlfriend. I collated that for the last month for you, Bree?
Okay, well, I went through it, and what the maybe the second or the last one that resonated with me was In Short.
Yes.
And so I checked it out, I read it, and you can do shorts of 100 words. So I've done a 100 word that I'm considering submitting to this. Trying to write in 100 words 8,000 words of my research proposal.
But it's a gift. The thing about what's often called short or flash fiction or short or flash nonfiction is it tests you and it creates new audiences and new ways of thinking. So for our non-CDU crew, just to explain, every Friday I send an email to our hood on different topics every week. But this week I had a collection of particularly academic journals or journals tethered to universities that pay their contributors with all sorts of weird and interesting topics and combinations from around the world. And of course, I thought of Bree while I was doing it. But so Bree, have a go.
So I've done a flash fiction. Now this is going to be a flash nonfiction. Yeah. New kind of writing. Yeah, it was exciting.
Adds to the CV, Bree. We're so proud of you, darling. Well done, you. Legendary Bree, 100 words. Thanks for playing. Oh, let us know. Send it, Bree. Send it. Let's go to the Dougster, who has given us higgledy piggledy and so many other gifts in the universe today. So, Doug, what were you writing on to please your very angry supervisors?
I was actually working on that hickledy pickledy dog's breakfast theme from the last hour, and moving pieces up and down and editing, and because I've got to send it through to you today. So yeah, but my internet's all over the place at the moment, so I'm getting bits and pieces of it and not, and I'll have to watch it later. And yeah, but that's what I was doing.
Good stuff. And no judgment with it, mate. That's what that's been the Friday mantra today. No judgment, just write, brother. Stretch, yoga for the brain, right?
Yeah.
Good on you, Dougster. Legendary. Let's go to the beautiful Maeve. Now, Maeve, what were you writing on today?
I was spending my time planning my PowerPoint presentation.
Ooh. And how's that going, darling one?
It's going. I thought the discussion about mattering was kind of interesting. I thought that'd make a good conclusion to the PowerPoint. So it was handy. Thank you, Tribe, for that. And then I've looked at what I did last year, so not a lot can be reused from that. Always have a look at what I did last year and see if there could be anything that I might like to recycle. Not much, because the research has other directions. But I also thought that I haven't written down, but I'll put my list of proposed chapters. And I'm kind of looking at, appreciate any tips. I'm kind of looking at saying something. Oh, I didn't write down. See, so many things I left out, because you'll see in what I've sent, I've talked about the research excursion I took last year in November. So probably want to acknowledge that a little bit. And there's photographs, there's sound files. And then I'm kind of thinking of maybe putting in, not like a whole podcast, but a link to a podcast, because we've got podcasts in groupings of soundscapes and psychogeography. So I'm thinking that's a way of getting dissemination into the podcast.
Very good. Very, very good. I think that's great. And I think it's very good to be multimodal. I think that helps the thesis enormously, Maeve.
And okay, great. And I didn't do enough work on Gunther Kress with the multimodality, but I might bring that up into the PowerPoint.
Brilliant.
Anything else you're thinking? Any other ideas?
Well, what we'll do, Maeve, is we'll go down to Nor, because Nor did her COC how many weeks ago now? Nor, was it 2 weeks ago?
Yes.
And
2 weeks ago.
You had magnificent PowerPoint slides, can I say?
Thank you.
You worked with PowerPoint, because PowerPoint, force of darkness, Satan. But you worked beautifully. It was a real undulation, almost like reggae, with your relationship with the PowerPoint. Anything you'd like to say to May before we find out your fabulousness this week?
Oh, thank you so much, Tara. So I would like to say that thank you so much for your kind support. I received a letter from the HDR today that I passed my confirmation of candidature. Yes, I think without revision, because just letter without any comments. Oh my God, I'm so grateful.
Yeah,
And
darling, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you because obviously I'm the final sign-off. I couldn't tell you till it arrived, but yeah.
okay. Oh, thank you. And yes, I would like to share that for a week I came from the Queensland. I'm from the Brisbane. So I participate to the agricultural climate event of Australia Awards, and I represent Northern Territory. Yes. I learned many things from the scholars in University of Queensland about a system of thinking, and then how the University of Queensland now is working with the climate change issue. Then, so I will bring this all of the knowledge and share with all of you. I will post it into the Real magazine next week, I think. Yes, I present also like 5 minutes presentations related to the gender and the climate change issue and digital transformations. I also would like to share about my experience working and creating with my slides during my COC.
Yes, darling.
Yes. So I work with, I discuss and work together not only with my supervisor, but also I do it with my colleagues with the different, the expertise. I did it with Shell. I practicing, and also I discuss with someone, a lecturer in Menzies. I also discuss it to my supervisor, and then working together and practicing with my office mate. So I think the support system make me so rich into my research design and also my slides.
Yes.
And the most important thing that I know I have a language barrier, but at the end, someone who came into my COC, who is Tara, made me so motivated. I'm so confident, honestly. And then I believe that practicing and listening what maybe someone beyond of your expertise is really good. And someone with a native, like me, my English is, I have to improve it. I realize it. And yes. And honestly, Shell improve my, my communication and how to deliver and also my language advisor. So at the end, I'm thinking about, oh my God, the supporting system in PhD journey is really paramount important.
Here it is.
I don't want to say yes. I don't want to say, oh, my bloody work, no, this is my beautiful PhD journey. That's why we call PhD, the philosophy of life. So that's why, yes. Oh my God, I'm so blessed I'm in here.
We are
That's why I learned many things.
babe. We are blessed to know you. That is unbelievable. So, Noor, that's incredible advice for every human. I'm going to make sure I put that in the information section. Very important advice for everybody thinking of doing a milestone. Doug went straight in there going, just going, this is exactly what I need to be doing. Noor, you're perfect just as you are. You are amazing. And I love you, love you, love you. Can we see if we can get through the final two wonderful humans? For the first time in ages, it looks like I'm going to get round you all. Queen Mary, say hello. And what magnificentness were you working on, my darling?
I was back to doing, just going through my readings and doing summaries for basically they're kind of lit reviews, but they're basically, I have 14 ideas that I think drive my research, and so I gather readings on those and then I write a summary document on them. And again, it's part of the whole slightly mechanical process, I guess, that I do to my writing. So I write out all of my archival stuff in one big document. I write out, and then I do lit reviews by doing readings, and just basically do a separate lit review document, because it's all very well to do archival research, but I need to have some theories behind it. So I do these two sorts of writing, and then I put them together when I actually do a chapter.
You're a genius, Mary. You're a genius. I think you saw Damien there going, oh, that's a very interesting way of organising things. And look, Mary, I'm a bit obsessed about the notion of fragment or filament. And you've just captured there how a fragment can connect with another fragment and become a piece of fabric. I think that's beautiful, Mary. You clever human. Oh, that's
I do patchwork, and I do often think of my writing as being patchwork, and then put it all together, and then I have to smooth it all out, make it look like one whole, even though it's come from different sources.
And there is the metaphor for life on this Friday, Mary. Thank you, my darling one. You're superb. And look, wonderful, Susan. I'll just check if you're there, Susan. Do you just want to say hello, beautiful Susan?
Yeah, I'm here.
How are you, darling one? Are you well? What were you working on, sweetness?
Well, nothing, honestly. So literally I came onto digital office hours, and then I literally lay down, and literally I was sleeping in the first half an hour, then I came on. But I have to congratulate, I don't know how to pronounce her name, but Nur. I saw you from the beginning, smiling. Even before you said what it was, I'm going to congratulate you for your success in your confirmation of candidature. And I'm going to do some writing after this. Sorry, last week I wasn't here because I was literally flying back from Florida to Jamaica. So just hi, guys. Nice to be here.
We all just want to be you, darling one. And look, what's more important than writing? And the answer is obviously napping. So colleagues, I thank you for everything. Susan, we want to be you. You're all amazing. Let's just grab Noor's magnificent energy for the day and carry it forward with us. And just keep remembering the wonderful Mary's filaments. Let's write filaments this week and build it into something magnificent. Have a great weekend, Kyles. Be DMOB happy. Good luck on Monday. We're with you, Angel. See you soon. Bye, everybody. Fantastic.